Howdy, everyone. Runt9 here, and welcome to this week's episode of Runt's Fireside Chat. This is a series where I give you a little bit more of a deep dive into who I am, both as a person and a content creator. Tell you a little bit more about how my life has been going over the past week, what we kind of got coming up, and maybe tell you some stories about myself so that you can learn more about who I am behind the analysis and commentary that I usually give while I play video games on the internet for total strangers. And it's been a very interesting past week, both in some positives and some negatives. And so we're probably going to spend a good chunk, if not all of this episode, in mostly a retrospective sense. And there's quite a few things to talk about. So let's open with me still being a little bit sick and kind of where that topic started last week was talking about perseverance. And, funny enough, it ended up coming up in yesterday's Check the Wire. And I'm recording this on the day that this episode is coming out. Check the Wire came out yesterday morning on Tuesday. And, they actually talked a lot about how they had slightly differing opinions on it. Ryan Northern Lion had some thoughts on, if I see someone who streams 99% of the time and then every once in a great while they're just like, hey guys, I'm really sick, I just can't bring myself to do the stream, that he respects that and understands that. But if he sees someone chronically just like, every 4 days, I believe was the example he gave. If it's every 4 days, hey guys, I'm not feeling well, no stream today, then he just kind of tunes them out and feels like they just don't want it bad enough. And Dan took it to, the next level and said that people who don't push through are to some extent soft. And, he tried to come up with a better word, but, he played a lot of middle school, high school football when he was younger. And that's what the coaches would call you if, ow, I twisted my ankle and I can't run wind sprints today. Okay, boy, you're soft. And it kind of beats that mentality into you. I know, I played football in middle school as well, and I definitely saw that a lot. And I think that, not that they're necessarily two different ends of the spectrum, but I definitely align more with Northern Lion's viewpoint. In that, yeah, if it's a chronic sickness that is actually debilitating, that's one thing. But if you're just chronically not pushing through the average day-to-day muck, then yeah, you probably should reconsider if this is something you really want to be doing long term. I think that for the most part, this is, as they continue to say, very much a luxury to be a content creator. For me, it's a hobby. I do it on the side. And even though, the past couple days, I started feeling worse again. If you guys were watching the streams over the weekend, you could tell I was starting to feel better, breathing normally again. Things were good. Last couple days, the coughing has really picked back up, and, I'm feeling sick again. But I'm still gonna record these videos this week. I don't have my Runt9 Plays video for Thursday, Friday, Saturday recorded yet. I don't have Friday's Nova Drift video recorded yet. The new stream schedule on Saturday and Sunday, which we'll talk about in a minute, definitely threw off some of my timing. But I definitely am like, unless I feel like I should be bedridden, I'm going to be in this chair sharing my content with you guys. And I think that mentality probably falls a little bit between NL and Dan, but more towards the Northern Lion side, where I wouldn't consider it soft if, you as a content creator or me as a content creator decided, hey, I'm not going to make the stream today. I really should rest up and feel better. I would be unproductive. It would not be an entertaining stream. I would, lose viewership. I would be disinteresting. I should not stream today. I get that and I understand that. But if you feel like you can still put on a good show, even if it's not 100%, 90%, 80% is fine. And if you're still excited about it, I know I'm still excited about the streaming, then you should probably push through. And if you can't or don't want to, more importantly, don't want to, then yeah, like Dan was saying, you probably don't want it enough, and you should probably consider if there's something else you would rather be doing. If this is a hobby for you and you aren't enjoying making the content, then why is it a hobby? And so it is really amusing that I talked about perseverance last week, and it kind of came up quite a bit during Check the Wire yesterday. And so I found it amusing, and I also just wanted to make sure I commented on those things. And so again, I'm not feeling particularly well, but at the same time, I may just have to mute my microphone and, cough off to the side and get right back to it. That doesn't bother me. As long as I can still sit here and entertain and, commentate. I'm not necessarily a great entertainer yet, but I feel like my gameplay commentary and analysis is, I would put me in the C, maybe B tier of streamers. Still have a long way to go there. Honestly, my entertainment, probably D tier, if that. I'm still working on feeling comfortable in front of a camera and everything. But the thing is, as I feel right now, I don't think either of those change. I don't think I drop down a tier in commentary or analysis. I don't think I drop down a tier in entertainment. And as long as I feel like that's the case, like I said, I'm going to be streaming for you guys. I'm going to be recording videos on YouTube for you guys. That's just the way that I feel about it. I'm super excited and super passionate about this so far. I want to push through. So as long as it doesn't jeopardize my long-term health. Grab some water as well. In addition, something that you guys are probably also aware of over the past week, and realistically over the past couple months, ever since I started out, I've been having some, pretty rough internet issues. Sometimes my upload speed will drop down to 1 or 2 megabits per second and make it impossible to even stream at 720p. And other times, I'll be able to stream 1080p, 60 FPS, 6K bitrate for an entire 3-hour stream. I think it was a couple Fridays ago where I did an entire Friday 5x5 without a single problem whatsoever at basically the max settings that I can possibly stream to Twitch. And, I've talked a good bit about it. It's been frustrating. I ended up filing an FCC complaint for my internet service provider, Suddenlink. And lo and behold, ever since that complaint got filed, I got in, someone from the customer relations department reached out to me and has been coordinating technicians and making sure things are getting fixed. Amazing what happens when their hand is forced a little bit. Because up until that point, they basically weren't willing to do much at all. They would just blame it on congestion or say, it's fiber, there's nothing we can do. Which is definitely a lie, because the technician that came out here on Saturday night at 9 o'clock at night, their window was 10 to 8, around at 9, and we're here till 11. They found that the RFOG on the side of my house, and RFOG is basically radio frequency over glass. Essentially what it means is they take a fiber cable, they convert it to coax, they convert it to, regular cable TV style signal outside your house. He found that it was an old model and he replaced it with a new one. Fixed things just a little bit, still having issues. And yesterday, I get a call from a project manager who is leading 2 technicians working on a nearby node that is causing problems throughout the whole area. Amazing, right? Something that I had been saying for a couple months, like, yeah, it's probably a hardware degradation somewhere. My upload speed has just been low decline, and it's been fairly unstable. To me, that sounds like a hardware issue, that maintenance issue, something needs to be replaced or upgraded. Seems simple. And also, like, there's going to be a lot of congestion during peak hours right now. You got a lot of people inside watching Netflix. I get that. But not to the extent that it would crater my upload speed to be about 90% less than what I should be getting. But the thing is, and this is the main topic I want to hit on, is last week's streams. Specifically Wednesday through Friday. You guys know that I've been talking about being sick since, last Monday. You guys know that I've been talking about my upload speed issues for weeks, months now. But what I would consider to be so far my worst marketing mistake is I advertised that in my stream titles. Pretty dumb, right? Let me pull up Twitch here, and I'll read off a couple of the stream titles from last week. And you tell me, whether it be in the comments or on Twitter or whatever, you tell me if you think that... Let's see here. No, not that. I want to go to content video. You tell me if these stream titles sound inviting, that if you saw this title, you would want to click on it and see more. See here, last Wednesday was... yes. Roguelike Wednesday with a twist. I might have COVID-19 sad face. But let's have some fun with One Step from Eden, Nova Drift, and a door. Okay, so I mentioned that I might have COVID-19, which I'm not a medical professional. I have no idea. I definitely shouldn't be saying that to the public. I have some sort of upper respiratory infection. That's all I actually know. That's trying to be clickbaity. But also, why would you want to watch someone who is sick? You're basically telling potential viewers, hey, I'm not at 100%. So if you don't know who I am, you have no reason to watch this stream right now because I'm not going to be as entertaining as usual. That's basically what I advertised. But wait, it gets worse. Let's go look at Thursday. Turn-based Thursday plus cursed upload speed. Gordian Quest, Trial of the Gods, Mortal Glory. So I'm telling people that the stream quality is going to suck? That's literally what I said in the title. Cursed upload speed. You read that and you're like, oh, so even if I have, plenty of download speed on my end, the stream may still stutter, the stream bitrate may still drop. Yeah, doesn't sound like something that I'd like to click on. Doesn't seem good at all. And Friday 5x5, Trackmania, Mortal Glory, Rocket League, Gordian Quest fan vote. The upload speed woes continue. RIP bitrate. That is blatantly saying my stream quality today is going to be bad. Do not watch this stream. That. Why would I openly advertise don't watch my stream? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I realize that. I didn't do that for the first single game Saturday and the first co-op Sunday I ever did. So I figured it out and fixed it. But let me give you guys a perfect example from an analytics standpoint of why that's a bad idea. We're going to go by week. So it's actually going to count Sunday's stream for the week of April 12th because it is a new week. And so it'll actually count for this week's metrics starting tonight. But let's just look over the past 4 weeks, basically, and you'll see that I've had some reasonably steady growth, and for a small channel, the viewer count has actually been pretty solid. Week of March 15th, 6.1 average viewers. March 22nd, 7.2, an increase of 1.1 average viewer across those 3 streams. March 29th, 7.3, 0.1 increase, much smaller increase than the previous week, but still trending upwards. Last week, 5.8. It went down by 1.5 average viewers. And if I extend this to be, we'll go back to the start of March. That's my lowest in basically a month. Because March 8th, I had 3.6. So it's still a step up from that. But I looked back at that and I'm like, man, my viewer count went down this week for some reason. I'm not quite sure what happened. I go back, I look at the stream titles, and I just facepalmed. I mean, you guys probably just immediately look at that and say, bro, you're telling people not to watch your stream. And so it's an important lesson to learn. And, this is kind of giving you guys an inside look into how the past week has gone. I don't blame the viewership on anything other than myself. Not myself being sick, not my upload speed. Because the live views also, other than, I believe, Saturday, went down as well. If I go back to day... Wednesdays was good and Saturdays were good. Thursday and Friday were terrible. Because, again, why would you click on that? Why would you click? And Thursday and Friday were the days that I mentioned in the stream title that my upload speed was bad. And I mean, I don't want to harp on this too much. I want to switch to other topics, but I did learn my lesson, and I will continue with positive and engaging stream titles. And in general, I've complained a lot about my upload speed. I've complained a lot over the past week of being sick, and I really don't want to turn into one of those content creators that spends most of their time complaining. I've seen people like that, and I don't want to be that way. You guys know that I like to put a focus on positivity, being uplifting. Even if I can't necessarily entertain, I want you to still feel comfortable in my stream. I want you to feel welcomed. I want you to feel uplifted. I don't want you to come in and be like, oh, this dude is complaining and raging, and this just isn't fun to watch. That's not the environment I want to create. And so, not only was this a wake-up call from like the stream title perspective, but also just stop bringing it up. You don't have to tell people you're sick. You don't have to open a stream with, okay guys, by the way, I'm sick. This might not be the best stream. Don't worry about it. People can ask. You can say, yeah, not feeling well, but, I'm here. I'm happy to be here, guys. I am still happy to be doing my best. If someone says, hey, the bit rate's dropping, what's going on? I'm like, oh yeah, having some internet issues, but working through it. It'll be resolved soon. Don't worry about it. Isn't that so much better? Isn't that so much better than saying I have a cursed upload speed or rip bitrate? So this is my vow to you guys that I will never have a stream title like that again. Never gonna happen. I will never have anything negative in my stream title ever again. I will never have a negative YouTube video title unless it's tongue-in-cheek. Like the episode of Good Company that came out today was, why does this keep happening to me? I'm not going to spoil the ending of the episode. You'll have to see where we leave off the series. But I'm sure you can guess if you've been following the weekly series. But that's tongue-in-cheek. That's being playful. So I really want to make sure that I don't start falling down the rabbit hole of being a complainer. That's not who I am. That's not who I am in my real life, and that's not who I want to be for you guys on stream. And so I'm going to continue to work on that. I'm going to continue to internalize that. And, you know, if I don't learn from my mistakes and grow from my mistakes and continue to try to be better, am I really progressing? Should I expect to see growth if I myself am not growing? No, not really. So again, that's my vow to you guys, and I'm going to continue growing. I'm going to continue ensuring that I'm being as positive as is reasonably expected, and that's just the way things are going to go. I promise you guys that. But also over the last week, as I mentioned, did my first single game Saturday and my first co-op Sunday. And this is the most positive part of this Fireside chat by far, is I loved those streams. I'm so happy that I decided to add that into the mix. It feels great to have 2 more days and 2 more additions to the variety of content that I put out. You know, I'm still working on the right way to get Twitch VODs onto YouTube. I tried recording while I was streaming. My CPU can't quite handle that, unfortunately, because I am doing CPU encoding, because I have a bunch of extra threads, but I'm GPU limited. I'm still working on getting Twitch VODs. I may just get to the point where I download the VOD, split each hour into its own part, and get them uploaded, and just schedule them, you know, a couple hours apart during the day, 48 hours later, because Twitch has a rule where you can't go up or can't post your content anywhere else within 24 hours of your stream. Since my streams usually end pretty late at night, I don't really want to start the scheduled content coming out at 8 p.m. So we'd probably just do it the following day. So Wednesdays would come out on Fridays. That's kind of what I would expect. And, you know, I think that works out pretty well, since Sunday stream would come out on Tuesdays. And I like that because then, you know, it leads right into the next week of streaming. So I'm still working on that, and I would like to get there. And I think that the Saturday and Sunday streams this past week just went so well. You know, City Skylines got off to a rocky start, but purely game-wise, it had been a while since I played, and so I started building like the world's most awful looking grid. It was terrible. It was inefficient. We started running into traffic problems at like 1,000 people. And if you're not familiar with City Skylines, running into traffic problems at 1,000 people is terrible. It was so bad. And so an hour into the stream, I yeeted that city. We started a new one. And over the next 2 hours, we had a ton of fun. I built out a much more fluid suburb looking style. I got a nice downtown area, and I just had a lot of fun. It was very engaging from the community perspective. You know, my good friend, a very loyal follower of the channel, Adrian, was able to redeem some loyalty points to name the city Candyland. And I'm just so happy to have that type of content on my channel, because that type of content doesn't fit into the 1 game per hour thing that I do on Wednesday through Fridays. And then Sunday came around, and, you know, Emmy and I worked on figuring out the best way to set up our computers, because, you know, you can't necessarily see the rest of this room, but it's a pretty big open room, and we had both of our computers in here. That made it difficult from a microphone echoing perspective. You guys know that my voice is loud and it carries, and it's, you know, kind of deep and booming. I also have volume control issues with my voice. I can get a little excited and yell from time to time. And, you know, I think that's fun and exciting. But that also means that I would echo through her microphone through Discord. And so even though this isn't necessarily what we wanted, but at least for a temporary solution, we moved her computer into another room, and it ended up being a great solution. I really like the way it worked out. And then we played some RL Craft in Minecraft. We were so unprepared for how hard it was going to be. We spent pretty much the whole first hour and a half of the stream just dying endlessly. Every time we would make progress, we would die, we would lose everything because it has random respawns. And I mean, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Minecraft, but I mean, I figure most of my watchers have probably played at least a little bit of it. And so usually you would respawn somewhere nearby, or you would respawn in the same spot, so you could figure out how to get back where you were. You might respawn in RLCraft, you might respawn on an island in the middle of nowhere. But right at the end, we started getting things going. We got the tools. We found ourselves like this neat little castle that randomly spawned. We were able to hole up in there and really started making good progress. It was super stressful. I had a headache. My heart was pounding most of the way. Edge of my seat. It was adrenaline fueled, and also it engaged a new suite of viewers that I hadn't been able to bring to the channel before because of, again, it's a completely different style of content from what I usually put out. I'm usually playing these very indie roguelikes or these, these kind of turn-based games. I mean, for the most part, in general, very, very indie-focused, small niche games. And Minecraft has very, very wide appeal. I mean, it's still consistently within the top 10 most viewers on Twitch. And so, we brought in a couple new followers to help get us closer to the charity stream goal. There was someone who popped in who was incredibly familiar with RL Craft and started giving us advice. And that type of engagement was amazing. I loved the backseating because it really helped us get on track. Telling us, here's the best weapons to craft. You can craft a shield. And I loved it. And, she and I both at the end of it were like, that was a lot. That was very stressful. And so, we may not necessarily continue with that campaign. But from the streaming perspective, from the entertainment perspective, I felt like it was a really fun stream. Other than I had some FPS lag issues for a good chunk of it, and so I was constantly fiddling with video settings. Not the most entertaining thing ever, but I still think that it was a lot of fun. And, I very much enjoy doing it, and I'm very much looking forward to future co-op streams, whether they be with Emmy or with my, group of real-life friends. Just something on that note for future co-op streams. My real-life friends and I have been, we had this long-time Saturday night tradition. We'd all meet up at usually my brother's house, but as people started getting their own places, I got a house, Mike got a house. We were able to meet up at people's different houses, go out, grab some food, and play some board games or just hang out and chat. And obviously, due to the quarantine, and also I moved, 3 hours away last summer, and so I haven't been able to see them as often. But especially over the past few months, I haven't seen them in months. I don't like that. It's been a long time since I've got a chance to hang out with everyone. And so we've started playing some tabletop sim on Saturday nights, hopping on Discord, just, shooting the wind and chatting and playing some board games. I've been really enjoying that. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some co-op board games with the guys on a Sunday afternoon. And so there's a lot of potential options to fill that co-op slot. I've got a ton of games that have come on my radar that as soon as City Skylines is over, I'm going to have a really tough time choosing. Good Company, Startup Company, Rise of Industry, along with some others. I'd even do a modded Darkest Dungeon run. Gordian Quest has been incredibly fun, and that would fill up probably 2 to 3 weeks for a single playthrough. So, very excited about the future, very excited about how this last week went, my poor marketing choices notwithstanding. And so, I just feel like I'm in a very good position, and I'm going to continue trying to be the best content creator that I can be for you guys. I'm so happy to be doing this. This is such an exciting and fun hobby. I love it. And, for the millionth time, thank you all so much for the support. I just got another follower on Twitch yesterday that, probably came over from YouTube. So that's much appreciated. I think that we are now 12 or 13 away from the charity stream. I'm just so excited. I'm so happy to be doing this. So, anyways, we've hit the 30-minute time mark. I am going to cut things off here. Thank you all so much for watching this. And again, it's Fireside Chat. I don't do my advertising in my intro. I just say thank you for the support. And until next week, I'm Runt9, and I'll see you later.